Mental strength is everything, especially when you talk about competing at the highest level.
Power of the mind is the main difference between good players and great players.
My mind is always going through situations to help us get the edge.
I try to visualize things that the person I'm guarding likes to do.
Mental toughness means a lot. And, I'm always trying to get that out of my teammates.
Gotta play tougher, harder, tougher, everything.
And I think being mentally tough is putting all that bullshit aside, everything that's happening, all that noise, all the hype, and just focusing on what you got to do.
So staying mentally tough is clearly important, but there are certain players who seem to have an innate ability to stay calm when it comes to crunch time.
It's the same for everyone. Everyone battles the same demons out there. Everyone's had their tough losses, and everyone's also had a lot of close wins as well.
They do have Valkyrie in this comp Fnatic. They can take to the skies and be involved if they need to.
Apex Legends is a game of mind over body. The success you have all lies in the thought process you go through in each lobby. Do I push? Will that team rotate? Should I ult? How does that knock change our strategy? Do I res or fight? Is it safe to shield swap? Where is the next ring? Where do we hold? What supplies is important? It's a third party. What do we do? End of the day, when you load into a game, it all dials into what decisions need to be made and when. In any physical sport, a key component is your mental preparation and strength. In Apex, it's the same thing, and probably even more important, as there really isn't any physical components that make or break your game. Diving into the meta realm of Apex, we see that you physically aren't doing much, but within the game, you control the physical elements of your legend. You physically are not pushing a team, but mentally, you have decided this and enacted your legend to do so. You pushing a team is a mental decision. You popping a medkit is a mental decision. You choosing to rat is a mental decision. Every sport has its mental side, and when you truly break down Apex for what it's worth, you realize it's a game of mental toughness and decision making. I see all these guides on how to improve your aim mechanics, movement, map positioning, but I have yet to see a video break down the mental side of this game. I've coached tennis for 6 years, played and watched thousands of matches, and seen the mental strength it takes to go toe-to-toe with an opponent who wants to win just as bad as you, wants to perform just as bad as you, and ultimately is willing to do everything they possibly can in order to be successful by the end of the match. Apex is no different.
Did the Fnatic win it? Fnatic win it! Yuka with the ice!
With mental toughness, there are two parts, your mental preparation and being mentally aware of your thought processes while performing. Let's talk about what it means to be aware of your mental thought process while playing. Through the noise, clutter, and confusion, are you clear-minded? Do you commit to your decisions, or are you passive? Do you have a game plan for every move, or are you unconscious to what you're trying to do? In order to be mentally strong, you need to have clear intentions for each decision you make. When you push a team and decide this, you have to fully commit. When you pop a big bat, you need to be confident that you have time and cover to do so. If you go to hold a house, you need to know why you are holding that specific house. By bringing awareness to your decision making, you can properly start to see your mistakes and ultimately improve upon your decisions. Don't be brain dead, boys. Start to mentally work through why you are doing what you're doing. For any athlete, mental preparation is key to performing well on the big stage. My advice is to clear your mind before playing. Make sure you're able to properly think about what you're going to do without the clutter of everyday life. It's hard to be dialed in when your attention easily wanders off to situations and events that don't pertain to the game. Before playing, run through some scenarios that happen in the game and how you're going to act in those situations. For example, if a teammate gets knocked, what are you going to do? Predetermining and visualizing your choices will create an automatic response when you're actually put in the situation, which will lead to a more fluid gameplay. We have talked about preparation, however, it truly comes down to in-game decisions at peak moments. Part of mental psychology revolved around competition is the process of handling stress. Being an athlete all my life and now being a sports coach as my career, I've seen the most useful ways to approach stress and big moments in competition. My tip is accept the stress and use it as fuel. You can either become a coward in the face of adversity, or you can tackle it head on.
According to Dr. K from Healthy Gamer, many gamers are unprepared for this kind of stressful situation of being elite among their local gaming communities to then being average or below average among their peers once they turn pro. And without the right mindset, this stress can cause you to crack under the pressure once you've finally made it to the top.
One way or another, there's this anxiety, there's this kind of mental, psychological dissonance where it's like, oh man, I'm kind of uncomfortable right now. The greatest performers in the world, whether it's tennis players, basketball players, business people, professional speakers, or whoever, the greatest performers in the world feel that feeling. And it's their trigger for them to know that, oh, this is amazing. This is why I'm out here today, is to try to overcome this particular challenge right now. And they relish the opportunity to be in that position, to feel that tension and that anxiety, and to have to try to overcome that challenge that day.
Stress, anxiety, and the clouded mind we get when tensions rise is something you'll face not only in competition, but life itself. As mentioned in that last video, when these emotions and feelings arise, it should be our trigger to want to step up to the plate and make something great happen. We should be honored to have the opportunity to face the pressure and adversity. Many will crumble and even surrender to the immense pressure of tight situations. However, in order to be mentally strong, not only do we need to persevere under pressure, but we should be hungry for it and anxiously anticipating it. There's a saying I love which goes, pressure is a privilege. So next time you're under pressure, the game is tight, and information overload is happening, remember that the pressure and stress you're feeling is a privilege and should be taken head on without any mental wavering. Regardless of the outcome, if you can handle these situations with poise, you will be practicing strong mental strength. One of the last points I want to talk on involves self-talk and positivity. Whether you are aware of it or not, there is constantly an internal monologue going on inside of your head. This is the monologue that plans, predicts, and ultimately is the same voice that reviews your actions and choices. We need to tap into this monologue and make sure we are programming it with positivity. For example, let's say both your teammates go down and you're fighting a 1v3. You successfully take out 2 of the 3 opponents and now you're in a 1v1 situation. Unfortunately, you get knocked and it's back to the lobby for your whole team. Instantly, that internal monologue is going to deconstruct what happened and make key takeaways. There are 2 ways that monologue can go. One being negative and the other one being positive. Negative thought processes will beat you up over the situation, linger your thoughts on what you could have done better, and ultimately drive your confidence to the dirt. Positive thought processes will boost your morale, build confidence, and make you a stronger player for when you're put in that same situation. Tapping into our internal monologue to stay positive will keep our emotions more stable and ready to compete, while negative thought processes will take our drive away and create insecurities regarding the situation we just went through.
There was a study done in Florida at a tennis academy. What they actually found was this. The difference between the top 5 ranked people in the world and the others in the top 25 was their thinking. In the 10 to 15 seconds after a point had been scored in tennis, those athletes that thought positive things such as, I love this game. There's nowhere else I'd rather be. I may have not got that shot, but I'm gonna get the next one. Watch this. Those athletes that thought positive, it slowed down their heart rate, slowed down their breathing rate. They were feeling better about themselves. And thus, across an entire tennis match, in the end, they were victorious.
Hopefully after this video, you can start to become mentally aware of your mental game. Bringing awareness to your mind that truly dictates everything we do has great importance in competition and in everyday life. If you enjoyed this video or have any thoughts, I'd love to hear them down in the comment section. If you'd like to see more videos similar to this one, go ahead and hit that subscription button, as the Apex Messenger brings interesting ideas to light. In the background was a Masters ranked game I played a couple months ago. If you'd like to check me out live, head over to _Hillier on Twitch, where I try to stream daily. Until the next time, it's the Apex Messenger signing off.
Hey, PK carried big time.
Me now. That's crazy.
Hey, GG boys. GG's, well done.